the aim of the prophets, the aim of the sheikhs, especially in the sheikhs of the Naqshbandi order, it is the same as the aim of the prophets. The aim of the prophets is, let's say, the aim of the Holy Prophet ﷺ. What was his aim? What was his job? What was the mission that Allah gave to him? I'm saying this is very close together. It is very tied together. These are not words I'm putting from one to another. This is exactly what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commanded his Habib in that cave. In that cave that he stayed with Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq. In that cave when they stopped before they went to Medina. In that cave where so many miracles happened and the unbelievers were hunting them down to kill them. In that cave was held the first zikr of the Naqshbandi order. And in that cave also Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is showing to the Holy Prophet ﷺ his ummah. The whole ummah. And our Prophet has the highest number, the biggest ummah belongs to the Prophet ﷺ. 124,000 prophets that came. So many of prophets, although their ummahs are big, but the people who believe they're very small. There's only a handful. And so many of them, it only lasted for one generation. Shaykh Effendi is saying on Judgment Day, so many prophets you're going to see. They're standing, and there's not one single person from their nation who is behind them to follow them, because they all rejected them. Understand, Hazrat Nuh alayhi salam. Millions were in that world. How many followed him into that ship, into that ark? 73. A handful. But in that day, in that night, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala pulled his Habib and the Habib of his Habib in that cave, and Allah showed him his nation, and he was being very happy because his nation was big, his nation was beautiful, his nation was pure. And he was very thankful and happy and proud of his nation and thankful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then he saw how his nation, in that perfection that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created his nation, that perfection, it slowly started turning into something that is corrupt and evil. And this is the nation of the Prophet ﷺ, especially in the last days. And the Prophet ﷺ grew very sad, and he started crying and begging Allah to turn his nation back into that level of purity. And Allah says, that is your job. Your work, your mission is to return the nation that I've created them in perfection, to return, for them to return to me in perfection also. And the Prophet ﷺ said, it is too big a job for me, Ya Rabbi. And Allah then said, I will send helpers to you, don't worry. And his helpers are the sheikhs of the Naqshbandi order. From that time until today, that their mission is to turn the mankind back to Mawla, to bring them to a level of perfection and purity. Don't think perfection and purity is the way that you understand it also. It is the way that the sheikh is going to understand what is the level. Maybe for that one, for him to be pure is that level. The other one, for him to be pure is that level. The other one is this level. The other one is this level. We don't live in a world, in existence of perfection. How are we going to know what is perfection or not? So the Naqshbandi sheikhs, they have been sent then to bring people from this lower world to prepare them for the higher world. And with that prophetic work, prophetic job that is given to them, they try to make the man to become not Insani Kamil in the level of Insani Kamil as the Holy Prophet ﷺ is Kamil. And especially in this Akhir Zaman, they say in the perfection that only you can be perfect from it, not other people. Meaning only at your level. Especially in this Akhir Zaman, they don't give you anything that you cannot carry. And they say rise to that level. Don't look to other people. You cannot do that. You cannot compete with them, and you cannot come even close to them. So it's not the Kamil, the perfection of the Prophet. I said it's not even the perfection of the saints. But especially in the last days, they say at least have one kind of perfection, at least one kind of faith, at least have one kind of connection that is perfect, so that you don't have any doubt in that. One kind. And that is to hold on to your shaykh. When you have that, with that one kind, everything else they can transform it for you. You're doing everything correctly. You think you're perfect with your service, with your ibadat, with everything, but your heart is not connected to your shaykh, and it is not perfect in the way that it is corrupted with waswasa, with doubts, with all sorts of things. Then nothing is going to save you so much. Then you cannot move over here a little bit. You cannot even you cannot reach to that level, your level of perfection. Because they're saying, if you can reach to your level, then we can take you, we can bring you to another level. Then they can take you, bring you to another level, another level, another level. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, there is a knower above every knower. And in the hadith sharif that we're speaking about in the khutbah, there is always going from one level to another level to another level. You don't just go straight up like that. And Allah is saying, take one step to me and I will take 10 steps to you. In Islam, Allah is not saying, you must take 10 steps to me. You must be perfection so that I can. So listen, take one step. But you must take one step. You cannot say also, I cannot even make that one step, like someone else to take that step. Someone else has to die for me. No, you make a mistake. You have to fix it. You know that this works in this world, isn't it? You make a mistake, you have to fix it, one way or another. There's no such thing in this world. You make a mistake and you tell somebody else to fix it. It works here, it works in the heavens also. So, now, what does it mean now? The cleaning of the heart, how to connect yourself to the shaykh. You have to put the shaykh in your heart. Not as an idol. I see people also putting shaykhs in their hearts as an idol. They're not there to spend time. They're not there to talk, to consult, to understand. Just like the companions were with the Prophet ﷺ, to understand everything that is happening there. You see, the closest companion of the Prophet ﷺ, still it is Hazrati Abu Bakr Siddiq. No matter how high Hazrati Uwais al-Qarani is, that he has so much love, so much connection spiritually, it's still Hazrati Abu Bakr Siddiq. But why is it just Abu Bakr Siddiq? Because Abu Bakr Siddiq, radiallahu anh, he is the one who spent the most time with the Prophet ﷺ. He is the Prophet's shadow. So these days people think that they can follow a shaykh without even knowing anything, without speaking. But of course I'm talking about people who say I follow, and then their mouth starts turning like this, and before you know it, they say, where you get this from? Oh, I get it from my shaykh. But the shaykh never says that. He never did that. No one else is doing it except for you, because you think you're special, but you've already corrupted everything. And you make your shaykh then into an idol that you want to worship according to your own ego. And you'll project everything there to that. It's not what the shaykh is saying, it's what your own fears, your own ego, your own shaitan, you project there. Because the idols also, they have no existence. Idols have no existence. It's not as if the idol there is existing and it is threatening Allah. Idols can never threaten Allah. You understand? It's not like there are two gods and the one is fighting Hasha, astaghfirullah. It's not like that. Idols don't even have any existence, but their existence is what you put there. When you put it there, it exists. But it doesn't exist as a separate thing. It doesn't exist as a separate thing. It is part of you. And then, when it is part of you and coming from your ego, shaitan will come and will make it seem as if it has a life. But it doesn't. So some people, they're making the shaykh to be like that too. To be close to the shaykh, to be doing work for the shaykh, to be the one who is useful in the way of haqq, is not just saying, I love you, I love you, I love you. Surrounding yourself with pictures, or surrounding yourself with visions, or surrounding yourself with dreams. There's another sickness that Shaykh Effendi, all his life, he's saying, don't be tricked with those kinds of things, correct or no? Illusions and delusions, don't be tricked by that. Don't be tricked by saying, oh, this prophet came to me, this saint came to me, give me this maqam, this. Don't be tricked by all of that. You must be sitting and thinking and connecting yourself and understanding what kind of a servant you are to Allah. Because once I see a lot of people that they deviate, it's because of that. And they make it into an idol. Now before long, they start worshipping their dreams and their visions. It becomes more true than something that we say, look, Shaykh Effendi said this. No. What are you going to say? So, to be in sohbat, that's why sohbat is important in our tariqah, to be in sohbat. It's not just to sit for 5-10 minutes like this also. To be in association. To be to your life and the life of your shaykh and the life of the Jamaat, to be together. Just like the companions were with the Prophet. Just like that. So, when it is like that, then the heart, when you start putting your shaykh there, and this is not an easy thing to do. I'm talking like just put it, it's not. Your ego will rebel. Your ego will hate it. Your shaitans will hate it. Your dunya will hate it. Everything else is going to tell you this is wrong, this is bad. And this is when it becomes a fight. This is when it becomes a struggle, a holy fight, a holy struggle, where you have to step on your ego. Then after a while of fighting, you'll find some sort of ease and contentment. You say, I'm seeing, I'm stopping myself from being an idiot, and I'm seeing what are the gains. Just to be common sense, to have common sense. Because don't think that when the ego fights, when shaitan fights, it fights with intelligence or common sense. It doesn't. There's no common sense. It's just a lot of sound, a lot of noise. But when I say, what is it? What is it? So many times, you cannot even find the words, because Shaitan says, don't find the words, don't put it down neatly and nicely. Be as confused as possible, so that that small confusion it fills up your brain as if it's a big confusion. But once you start talking about it, understanding, it becomes really small. And that's exactly what your ego doesn't want, because it is small. It's not something that is huge. So once you start doing that and you fight, and the shaykh will knock you wall to wall, you have to change. Your heart will start transforming. Your heart will start getting cleaned up. And when you do that, then that time there will be a connection. And you will start doing things the way that Allah and His Prophet and your shaykh wants, not according to how you want. Then it goes from there. There's so many steps. Inshallah, may we be those ones who are on that way, inshallah. And to hold on to our shaykh properly. Wa min Allahu tawfiq. Al-Fatiha. Amin.